Okay, here's my Ultimate Fighter Season 11 finale predictions. Takes place this Saturday, June 19th at the Palms in Las Vegas, Nevada. Just like I always do, preliminaries, just going to say who wins. Main card, discuss it. First one, James Hammortree versus Kris Camozzi. I got Hammortree. John Gunderson versus Mark Holst. I got Holst. Brad Tavares versus Seth Baczynski. I got Tavares. Kyle Noke versus Josh Bryant. This fight, Josh Bryant could take this to the ground. He's a good wrestler. But I just don't think he's like Chris McGray type where he can dominate. And when Kyle Noke lost on the show, Chris McGray he's a big, 185. So I mean, I just don't see Josh Bryant taking Noke to the ground. He could do it though. I just think Noke has a good enough takedown defense. I think he's worked on his takedown defense to keep it standing, and I think Noke will win it. So I got Kyle Noke over Josh Bryant. James McSweeney versus Travis Browne. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Travis just because I'm not really sold on McSweeney yet. I mean, he's a good fighter, but he trains at a great camp up there in Colorado with Trevor Whitman and Mike Van Arsdale and Shane Carwin, Rashad Evans, the whole group there. But at the same time, just because he trains at the great camp, just means he's a great fighter. I just think Travis is a better fighter than McSweeney, so I'm going to go with Travis over McSweeney in that fight. And a little bit of an upset, if you call it an upset. On to the main card, Jamie Yager versus Rich Attonito. I wanted to see Jamie Yager versus Casey Uscola. They looked like they were kind of building up on the show. They were building it up, Jamie Yager and, Casey Uscola, going at it all the time, saying they're going to beat each other's ass. And that's what it seemed like they were going to do. And then here came not happening. And it came in Rich Attonito. I just don't see, Rich has to take Yager to the ground. If he wants to beat Yager, don't stand up with him. He's stronger than Rich. I think he's faster than Rich on the feet, and he hits a lot harder. If Rich wants to win this fight, he has to take it to the ground. And I just don't see him doing that. I just think Yager's going to be too strong for him. So I'm going to go with Jamie Yager, first round TKO, knockout over Rich Attonito. Next fight, Spencer-FISHER versus Dennis Siver. Spencer-FISHER really hasn't, showed his potential. Hasn't really lived up to his potential. I think he can be a great fighter. I think he can be, up in the top 10 lightweights. I truly believe that. I think Spencer-FISHER, if he puts all his skills, together and he performs as well as he can perform, then he can be a really good fighter. And I think he's going to do that in this fight. I think he's tired of putting on bad performances, and he's going to win this fight. I think he's better on the feet than Dennis Siver. I think he can, if he wants to take it to the ground, I think he can take it to the ground. I don't think Dennis Siver has has good enough skills on off his back to scare Fisher at all. I just see Fisher all the way around, just a better fighter. So wherever he takes it, I think seeing him win it. I can see him on the feet winning in this fight. I know he has to stay away from Dennis Siver's kicks. He likes to do the spinning back kick and all that. But I just see Spencer-FISHER a better striker than Dennis Siver. So with that said, ground, stand up, I just see Fisher winning by unanimous decision over Dennis Siver. On to the next fight, Chris Leben versus Aaron Simpson. You can give Chris Leben a puncher's chance, but that's about it. I don't want to be mean if that sounds cruel, I'm sorry, but that's all I give Chris Leben is a puncher's chance. I think on the feet, like technical wise, like if they're gonna do 3 rounds, I have to give it to Simpson. If you go to the ground, I have to give it to Simpson. Cardio, if it's gonna go the distance, I have to give it to Simpson. He's just a more well-rounded fighter than Chris Leben is. But Leben does have a puncher's chance, as he's shown, in his fight against Terry Martin. But I just don't see him doing that against Aaron Simpson. I could go to a decision, and most likely it is going to. Chris Leben has a great chin, but I'm going to go with Aaron Simpson, 3rd round TKO over Chris Leben. I think he finishes it midway through the 3rd. I think Leben's going to come out. He's not going to have his cardio up to par again, and Simpson's going to capitalize it in the 3rd round there. So Aaron Simpson, 3rd round TKO over Chris Leben. Next fight to find out who is the Ultimate Fighter for Season 11, Court McGee versus Chris McGray. I want to see McGray win this. I like McGray, but I'm just not. He didn't perform as well as I thought he would on the show. I was more impressed with McGee on the show. I know McGray is training with Lloyd Irvin, and I guess he's improving constantly. But that's what camps say all the time. So we really haven't. We really don't know. Potential-wise, I think McGray's gonna be a lot. I think potential-wise, McGray can be a better fighter than McGee, but right now I have to give McGee. I think he's more well-rounded than McGray right now. So I'm gonna go with Court McGee, unanimous decision over Kris McGray. But I'd like to see McGray win this, but I just think McGee right now is just a better fighter. On to the main event: Keith Jardine versus Matt Hamill. I want to see how Hamill performs after his win over Jon Jones. He looked very timid against this fight against Jon Jones. I know it's against Jon Jones, but you know, usually he's pushing forward. Jon Jones just dominated that fight, and Keith Jardine is no Jon Jones, but at the same time, you know, Keith is an awkward fighter, and he does throw those leg kicks, and he has very good leg kicks, and I want to see how Matt Hamill deals with that. So. Can Matt Hamill take it to the ground? Yeah, he could. He could take this to the ground, and we'll see how Keith Jardine does off his back, and we could see Hamill win this. But at the same time, I think Keith Jardine has enough takedown defense, and I think his stand-up is much better than Matt Hamill's, and those leg kicks, we're going to see how Matt Hamill deals with it, and I don't think he's going to deal with it very well. So I could be wrong about this, but I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset if it is. I'm going to go with Keith Jardine. Unanimous decision over Matt Hamill. Leg kicks are going to be a big factor in this fight, I think, and we'll see how that goes. So I think it's going to be very similar to the Chuck Liddell, how Keith Jardine won against Chuck Liddell. I think that's how he's going to win here against Matt Hamill. Even though Matt Hamill and Chuck Liddell are two totally different opposite fighters. Matt Hamill wants to take to the ground, Chuck wants to stand up, but I just that's how I see it. I don't know why. So Keith Jardine, unanimous decision over Matt Hamill. So there you go. There's my Ultimate Fighter Season 11 predictions. I got Hammortree, Holst, Tavares, Noke, and Browne winning in the prelims, and then Yager, first round TKO, Fisher, unanimous decision, Simpson, third round TKO, Court McGee being the Ultimate Fighter 11 champion by unanimous decision, and then Keith Jardine by unanimous decision over Matt Hamill in the main event. So there's my predictions for the finale, and I'll post my WC ones probably soon. So yeah, because Sunday, so it's like right after. So yeah, so there you go. There's my predictions, and adios. Good night.